In recent years, the Vuelta a España has been attracting increasingly strong lineups, and this year is no different. While defending champion Alberto Contador will not be among those at the start after already competing in 2 Grand Tours this season, the top 4 riders from this year's Tour de France will line up in Vuelta on August 22nd, ensuring us a hard-fought battle for the title. Here are Cyclingnews' top 10 riders to watch for the Vuelta a España. Chris Froome becomes only the second reigning Tour de France winner to ride the Vuelta a España in the same year. Carlos Sastre is the only other rider to have done it back in 2008. The pressure will be off Froome with the Tour victory already in his pocket, and any solid result here will be a bonus. Winning the Tour took a lot out of Froome, and he may struggle in the first mountain stage, but the 39km time trial in Burgos is a chance to put minutes into his rivals. After missing out at the Tour, the Vuelta is an opportunity for Nairo Quintana to lay claim to his second Grand Tour win. The Colombian was the race leader last year before a series of crashes forced him to abandon. Quintana appeared to be getting stronger in the latter days of the Tour, and he'll need a strong start if he wants to be out of reach by the time trial. The copious summit finishes in the opening 2 weeks will play into his hands. Vincenzo Nibali is riding the Vuelta a España for the first time since 2013, where he was beaten by Chris Horner to the title. Nibali took his first Grand Tour victory at the 2010 Vuelta, ahead of surprise second place Peter Velez. The Italian has had a mixed season so far and will be fired up after failing to defend his Tour title. He rode a strong final week and went on to win a stage, but he won't be the team's only leader here, with Fabio Aru and Mikel Landa also starting. The Vuelta a España was a late addition to TJ van Garderen's programme after illness forced him to abandon the Tour de France in the final week. Prior to the abandon, Van Garderen was enjoying possibly his best tour to date, and even joked that he'd turn the Fab 4 into the Fab 5. The field is just as tough as it was in July, and the parkour is arguably harder. For Van Garderen, the time trial in the final week would be good news and could see him move up the final standings. Alejandro Valverde has had a good record at the Vuelta, finishing on the podium 6 times in his 9 appearances. He won the race in 2009, but that was followed promptly by a 2-year suspension for his role in the Operación Puerto scandal. He made his comeback to the Vuelta in 2012, where he finished second, and he hasn't been out of the top 3 since. Valverde will be on a high after taking his first ever podium at the Tour, and if he and Quintana can work together, a Movistar 1-2 is a realistic shot. Fabio Aru is the second Astana rider on this list. Unlike his teammate, Aru has been targeting the Vuelta all year and spent much of the summer training at altitude. Aru recently finished 5th at the Tour de Polonia, his first race back since taking second at the Giro. It'll be the first time that Aru and Nibali have ridden together since the end of 2013, but the two have said that they'll be able to work together. It remains to be seen if this is true. Joaquim Rodriguez will once again lead Katusha's GC hopes at the Vuelta a España. The Vuelta is one of his major targets as the end of his career quickly approaches. Rodriguez is one of many riders looking for a second chance after the Tour de France. The Spaniard's GC hopes disappeared quickly in the opening week, but 2 stage wins and a stint in the mountains jersey helped save the day. Rodriguez has always gone well at the Vuelta, only finishing outside the top 10 once in his last 7 attempts. 82 will be putting their faith in Domenico Pozzovivo at the Vuelta. Pozzovivo's season has been disrupted by his heavy crash at the Giro d'Italia on stage 3. He made a promising return at the Tour de Suisse with 5th overall. Pozzovivo enjoyed a lengthy break before beginning his Vuelta build-up at the Tour de l'Ain, where he finished 10th. It's only the second time that he's ridden the Vuelta, and if he can replicate the 6th place of his debut, then it'll be a good result. Mikel Landa makes it 3 Astana riders in this top 10, and 3 chances at the podium for the Kazakh team. Landa's was perhaps one of the surprise performances of the Giro d'Italia, where he finished 3rd overall and took 2 stage wins. He's been following a different programme to his teammates, missing the recent altitude training in favour of racing at home in Spain. Landa's expected to be leaving the team at the end of the season, which could prove another interesting factor in the GC battle. This year is the first time that Andrew Talansky will ride the Vuelta after already completing the Tour de France. Talansky's best result at the Vuelta was 7th back in 2012. He had a difficult start to the Tour last month, but rallied and climbed back up the rankings, just missing out on the top 10. With so many other strong GC contenders, Talansky will be an underdog, but that could play to his advantage. He'll be joined in the Cannondale Garmin team by Dan Martin and recent Tour of Utah victor Joe Dombrowski.